Hello everybody, thank you so much for joining me. My name is Mario Cicciarelli. Today is the 19th of April 2017. Welcome to the 6th video of my Making a Techno Track series. Today we're going to be looking at yet another guitar that I'm using on my track Moments. This track is available for free download. You can find the download link on the description below. Again, thank you so much for joining me, and let's get right into it. So far on the previous videos we've seen the kick, some layering, the bass line, one of the main guitars, and these two lines as well. Now I want to take a look at this guitar that I like calling circular, because mainly what it's doing throughout the entire track is to go round and around and around. However, that's not that's only one of the elements or the effects that I'm using on this track, on this channel. So you can see there's some automation, you can see there's a delay, there's an auto pan which is constantly running as well, there's a compressor, some EQ, and then I'm tweaking a few parameters inside Guitar Rig. So one of the main things that I want to point out with this element is that sound processing is one of the main things that will help you throughout your production career, if you like. Why? Because sound processing will give you so many options. We'll just open the doors to so many different options. For example, on this track, and now I'm gonna make you listen to it for a little bit. I'm using the exact same. You can see that it's the same loop repeated over and over again. I'm actually gonna make you listen to it without any elements. Let's turn everything off. And I'm gonna solo it. So this is the original sample. Here you can actually see that I made a mistake, and the mistake is that I used the beats processing instead of the Complex Pro. This means that the sample is not going to sound all that well, but in this particular case I really don't mind those little tiny cracks, because they add to the texture. If I wanted for it to sound super clean, and if I were to use the sample with a really clean effects, I would definitely have to redo it again, but in this case it's just fine. There's just a tiny few crackles here and there that end up being disguised with all the effects. Anyway, you can see it's a super simple sample. There's really not much going on here. Yep, and I'm gonna turn that into, and I'm gonna use this element for three different things. The first one is to create ambience in the break. The second one is to create texture in both the main, this section of the main, and this section of the main as well. And then I'm going to use it as well to create drive, to push the track, to give a sense of speed to the track. So how am I going to do this? I'm going to do it by using different elements in different moments of the track, different effects, and apply them to this element in different moments of the track by using automations. We've been through some automation tips on previous videos. You can catch them there, or if you want, in the future I can also make a video only about automation. There's not much really. You just select, as I was saying on the previous video, you just select the parameter that you want to touch, you want to edit, and then you'll come up in the arrangement view, and you can turn and you can move this line. In this case is the on off of the auto pan, So if it's there, it's on. If it's there, it's off. You can actually see how it goes off. In this case, I'm gonna leave it there because I want to keep that automation. So let's see. I said ambience, texture, and drive. Yep. So let's go to the ambience. What am I doing to create ambience? Oh, but first I want to show you which parameters I'm actually automating during the entire track. So I'm turning on and off the auto pan. I'm actually turning it off at this point in the track and then leaving it off for the rest of it, mainly because I can tell there are many elements coming up at this point. So I'm probably trying to make it stay on one place, because all the other elements are in different places of the panning. So I don't want it to compete against any of the other elements. So that's the only automation I'm doing on the auto pan. Then on the delay, this is what I'm mainly going to use to create ambience, and you can see here is going up and up and up and up. The dry and wet is going wet and wet, more and more wet during the break, and then suddenly going down to go up again right at the end of the track. Then I'm using just two more. One is the tremolo rate, that I'm using it up and down here, and on this section only to create a little bit of texture, as I was saying before. Same here. The intention is to create texture, to make this sound more interesting in different sections, and then to put it back again. It's just basically bringing it up so that you pay attention to it. It takes your attention for a few seconds, and then it goes back to its main purpose. And then the last one is a tremolo intensity. This is how much you're actually going to feel that tremolo effect that I'm using on Guitar Rig. Yep. So let me show you what I meant by ambience first. So remember how the sample sound without all the other elements? Here, basically, you can see that the tremolo is going to intensify. The rate is going to stay at the same. Just bring that up. The rate is going to stay pretty much the same, which is pretty high. But the delay is going to get more and more wet during the break. So you can hear actually kicking in here while it's climbing. You can see the tremolo intensifying here as well. So this is opening up. You can start feeling into the sides, and on top of that it's auto panning, so it's going round and round at the same time that it's bouncing all over the place, and the tremolo is intensifying. Yeah, and that's the way it sounds with the rest of the track. Now the delay is so on the wet side that it feels almost like the sample turned around, and it's off the beat instead of being on the beat. It feels like it's completely off the beat. It's just bouncing all over the place, and it kind of puts you off balance, and it's not really what you're expecting coming from the break. And now it's sort of slowly settling back in, settling, and coming back. Which leads me to the drive part of it. As you can see, that was just generating a bit of ambience here, just making you feel the sound all over the place, making you feel uncomfortable in a way because it's going off beat, and here again it's going completely off beat, but slowly bringing you back and back and back, which again leads me to the drive part of it. When I'm removing the wetness, if you can say that, I don't really know. English is not my specialty. So if you can remove, you can put it right back to the dry setting. You can see that suddenly the main sample, just with some distortion on it, it feels like it's pushing the track fast. And that, together with the percussion that starts at the same point, is good as well. Again, it gives that rhythmic part to the track. It just pushes it. Yep. And so yeah, we've seen ambience, we've seen drive, and now what I want to see is texture. So now we've been playing around with the same sound. We've been playing with it for the entire track, but here we've been playing with this kind of drive part of it. And we're going to be playing with it for around 30 seconds. Continues to be the same, which is fine, because at the moment I've got excuse me, I've got other elements in the track building the track up. So now that I know this is the main, at this point, this is where everything goes off. This is the really big main. This is the last one. This is what I want you to remember of the track. So I want to not only for it to be really powerful and have all the elements going in, but I also want this element to start changing around, so it's not the same loop repeating over and over again. And that's why I'm gonna add a bit of texture by controlling the tremolo rate and the tremolo intensity. See, so I'm bringing it up here. The intensity is going up and up and up and up right at this point where everything explodes, and then going back down, sorry. And here you can see the tremolo rate goes from this point, then goes to high, and then goes back down again. So this means there are several changes. It's not the same element that it was sounding here. You can see here it was just a simple 4 notes, da 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 da, just pushing the track and nothing else. But then everything suddenly starts changing and moving around at the same time that all the other elements come in. Now it's going to start pushing it. We can increase this a little bit more so that we can feel it. And with the intensity as well. I think I was actually playing around with it. There you go, now you can actually feel it a bit better. So now, because it's on one beat or half a beat, that's why it just feels like it's turning on and off, on and off, on and off. Now it's starting to raise and going faster and faster. And then now it's gonna come back down again. So that's really pretty much it about it. Pretty much everything there is about this element. Again, sound processing to me is it's pretty much everything there is, because you can start from a very, very simple sample, which I shown you at the beginning of the video. It's a very, very, very simple sample. It's just 4 notes on a guitar. That sounds very clean, sounds very dull in a way. There's nothing really extremely interesting, but the rhythmic fits into the track, which is good. So once the rhythmic fits into the track, then you can start playing around with the effects. And I've got a bit of help with the guitar rig, using the tremolo, the intensity, automating the auto pan, automating the simple delay as well. So once you combine all those elements and the automation, then a simple sample like those 4 notes on a guitar then becomes really powerful. Because basically, and to me, even though it's an element that is sort of hidden, that's one of the elements that to me really drives the track. For me, the track pretty much rides on this element, at least on all this section, and on this section as well. But it's very, I would say this one, because it's more ambient, you can't really feel it all that much. But again, that's because it's just generating ambience. But generating texture, those are 2 really important things to me on a track. And this is playing a really, really important part on the main section, the one that I want you to remember, and the one that I want you to keep. That to me, the final part of the track is what I want you to take home in a way. That's the feeling that I want to wake up in you. So to me, that's why this element in particular is so important. Right, I think that was pretty much it about this element in particular. If you want to know anything else about the elements, I know I've just sort of touched little points, but what I'm trying to do with these videos is just to give you some triggers, just some food for thought. Think of how you can complement elements with effects, and how you can automate effects to create different sounds from a single sample, and how can you make something really interesting out of something that could be really, really, really simple. So that's it for me today. I'm glad that I could keep it, that I was able to keep it short this time again. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for joining me. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like, or share it, or shout about it, leave a message, or a comment in the comment section. And if you like it, again, hit the subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching. That's everything for me. My name is Mario Cicciarelli. This was the 6th video of my Making a Techno Track series. Thank you so much. See you next time.